timbers, folks. It's going to be a wild one today. WrestleRoni, as only WrestleRoni can do. Check out the top right hand of your screen. You got the War Tag Team Champion, one half of the War Tag Team Champions, one half of the QWA Tag Team Champions, Captain Blackheart himself. Down at the bottom, a new friend of mine that I came across, the Rated R superstar, Captain Decapitate. We're getting parody. How y'all feeling?
Thank you. At least you got the name right.
Oh, okay. You're coming out the gates. How you feeling, Captain Blackheart?
I'm very good this morning. Thank you very much.
Man, one from Australia, one from up the road here in the U.S. I'm glad to have you both. I'll start with you, Captain Decapitate. I recently saw you in VCW. You had a run-in with one of my favorite people in the world, Polly Kilpis. What can you tell me about your VCW experience, sir?
He's such an asshole.
Whoa, Polly?
Polly, yeah. I came into VCW, and I'm noted for having the meanest badasses in the 7 C's. And I come in, and I go to Mount Kilpis. Mount Kilpis. You have a Mount Kilpis in Australia?
No.
No, you just got that big-ass rock out there on the other side, right?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. But Mount Kilpis, and I talked to Polly, and he's a nice guy, but I want cutthroat people in my crew. In my crew of blood. I want the meanest badasses in each promotion. And Polly is just a little too friendly, too touchy for me. Too touchy.
You looked a bit uncomfortable. It seems like
I did. He tried to hug me. He even tried to hump my leg in the middle of the ring, and I'm like, I ain't having any of that shit, Polly. You're. It's not you. Yeah. I do have my eye on somebody in VCW, and that crowd, even though they're the dumbest marks that I've ever seen in the wrestling world.
Oh, come on now.
They're gonna be surprised. They're gonna be surprised.
The chicken crowd's the best crowd, but fair enough. It seems like I have two different very types of characters on my show. To you, Captain Blackheart, I see you got 2 sets of tag team titles. How's life out in the Australia scene, sir?
Oh, it's pretty good. I've been sailing up and down the coast of Queensland, going to Townsville and back to my home war in Rockhampton, and it's been very lucrative for me. I've won a lot of gold. I've been very blessed. My tag team partner, Spooky Boy Tyson DeHaunt, he's helped me along the way a long time.
Ah, Spooky Boy, I'm a fan. Yeah, you guys have been killing it. Man, you get on social media, you guys are representing Australia, so props to you. Props to you.
Thank you very much.
And I'd like to introduce you both to each other, Captain Decapitate, Captain Blackheart, Captain Decapitate. Heck, I'll let you guys have a couple minutes to get to know each other here.
It's nice to meet you, Captain Decapitate.
I would like to say the same, but I can't.
What?
And why is that?
Because I don't like Australians.
What?
I don't like the way you talk. You sound like Jack Sparrow. You know? I'm a real pirate. Jack Sparrow is a poser.
I'm not Jack Sparrow. I'm Captain Blackheart.
I tell you what, if I put my hand over the screen, you sound like Jack Sparrow.
There's not much I can say about that.
You seem like a nice guy. I assume you're a good pirate.
I am. I follow the rules. I stick to traditions. I stay inside that ring, you know. I keep it clean.
I applaud that, for one. I don't think he likes it, though. No, not a fan, Captain Decapitate?
Then you're not a real pirate. A real pirate cuts corners. My ultimate goal when I go anywhere is to take the ultimate booty back to the ship. And sometimes that's a championship belt. Other times it's booty.
Booty. Just straight up booty.
I can agree with you on that one.
Well,
but sometimes going the right way does lead you in very prosperous positions, as you can see.
I agree. Is your tag partner a pirate also?
He's not. He's more of a apparition.
Ooh.
A what?
An apparition. A ghost, if you will.
A ghost and a pirate.
Yar. As you can see, our tag ship name is Ghost Ship. Like the
Hey.
Flying Dutchman.
See.
I like that. I like that.
You guys are getting along now.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Because I
Being
don't
a good
have to
guy.
deal with it. I probably won't ever have to see him face to face.
Oh, this Ghost Ship, it travels.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I tell you what, anytime you want to, bring you and your tag team to Eastern United States, and I'll set you straight.
Who would you put up against them? Who would meet them at the gate to take their belts?
Well, while my main guy that had been at my champ for over a year was Beastman.
Husk.
Husk. And I think I would personally put Beastman in a tag team match against both of them.
Oh, 2-on-1 handicap deal, huh?
Yeah, that's the only way it'd be fair.
Well, we haven't saw the guys work. I mean, I have. They're good. They're damn good. I mean, 2 different sets of tag titles. That's saying something.
Yeah, but wait a minute. How much do you weigh, Captain?
I'm about 7 cannonballs, 70 kilos. 70 kilograms.
We don't talk that language here in the United States.
Yeah, we have our own.
Yeah, we got our own
numbers that we
pounds. How much you weigh in pounds?
Let me do the calculation then on my pirate ship.
And that's not him being difficult. That's the United States being difficult. We're the ones that have to go by our own rules. The rest of the world has a set, universal way of doing things. And
Was it like 87 pounds?
I'm around 154 pounds.
154. And how much does your partner weigh, you think? About the same?
About 165, I'd say.
Well, hey, if he's a ghost, he doesn't weigh
170?
anything.
Some ghosts like eating.
Well, I tell you why I put Beastman against both of you, because he's probably pushing 500 pounds. 500 pounds of nastiness.
Oh, you'll
I
smell it
know
coming.
what's our host name? What's his name? Slow Luke or
Slow Luke. I love it.
Slow Luke?
I'll be Slow Luke for the rest of the episode. That's fine.
Slow Luke. He has seen Beastman, but he has only ever seen the good side of Beastman.
Oh,
Because I don't think whatever, West Virginia could handle Beastman as a bad guy.
listen, Slow Luke even knows bulldozers, so I've seen that man's bad side. I promise you that.
I don't know if I want to go up against him anymore.
Let's take Beastman to Ghost Ship. Let's go. Let's all just travel to Australia. We'll swing by, see Phil Picasso, and we'll bring home the tag titles.
You paying?
No, Beastman is. He's got money.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, you know Beastman's got money.
Yeah.
He's a promoter. Any promoter has got buku gold. You know that.
All right, so we're coming to see within a year. Keep those titles.
I'd take my ass to Australia one time.
Now I'm down.
It's a nice place, honestly.
What's going on over
Very
there?
safe.
What's going on?
What was that, sorry?
What's going on the Australian scene? Anything good? I know there's plenty of good stuff, but what are you seeing out there?
In Queensland, in sort of the north to central area, there's not too many promotions around. There's War, there's QWA, which War has a show on this weekend, actually, the Millennium Rumble.
Oh.
Which I am in a couple of matches, actually. I'm versing Angus Sharp in our VIP match. The winner of that gets last position in the Rumble, which is very good. But the loser gets first. So there's some big consequences for that match.
I'd say.
I'm defending my War Tag Team Championships against the Voiceless, Jason Storm, and his tag team partner, the Outsider, who is a bit of a monster as well, too.
Okay.
And obviously I'll be in the Rumble as well, too. I'll be attempting to win that, which the winner of that gets the Millennium Championship.
Oh, okay. So you got some big things around the corner. And Captain Decapitate, I know you got some big stuff coming up. What's coming up for you?
This Saturday night, I'm taking Beastman across the state line to West Virginia because those assholes down there have been interfering with us. And we went down and beat the shit out of everybody down there. So now Beastman is in a three-way for their championship.
Oh.
And it's inside some kind of steel cage with barbed wire.
Oh.
So, and I don't give predictions. I don't give spoilers. I just tell you the damn truth.
Mm-hmm.
Beastman is going to win that championship.
Well, you know what? I kind of hope he does, honestly, because is this the same? Is this the interpromotional war that bled into VCW? If you
That's right. That's right. That asshole promoter drove 3 hours to get out to McMecken. I can't say that name. West Virginia to try to intimidate Beastman.
He hit him. He did more
and Captain, you should see this guy. He's not as big as you.
He jumped that guardrail though. See,
he jumped it. Well, yeah.
Guys, they can jump.
Yeah, I don't think Beastman can jump a guardrail, but you know he could. Drove 3 hours just to poke the beast. And so now I've had Beastman tied up in a little cage in the bowels of the ship. Very little food. I go down every once in a while and just take a poker and poke him just to piss him off more.
That's terrible.
And on Saturday afternoon, I'm going to release him in West Virginia. And if you're watching this, LT, you pissed off the wrong guy, buddy. You pissed off the wrong guy.
A lot going on, man. You got
just give us the damn belt. Give us the damn belt.
Man. Yeah, hey, like I say, he drove all the way there to sit in the front row, punch Beastman, and run out the damn door.
I was at that show. I was behind the curtain, and I look out, and I thought it was him, but did you notice one thing?
Huh.
He just poked at Beastman. He didn't come after me.
Well, you have that damn claw deal where you can decapitate people. I wasn't messing with you either.
I don't have it right now. I forgot it after the show. So I've been clawless. And that puts me in a foul mood.
That's man, there's some rough stuff going on over at the ship. You got Beastman in a cage. You can't find your claw. My goodness. It seems like
wait a minute. He's right.
Oh,
shut it! Beastman!
Husk! You gotta tell
him.
Keep
it quiet.
Huskama.
Yeah, Huskama.
Yeah, that he understood.
In an interview.
You should have saw when he was on the show. He's a nut. Anyway, I don't know where we go from here. You guys just have me all discombobulated. It's already a one for the books. Let's talk some wrestling. Let's start with Captain Blackheart. How'd you find your way into pro wrestling, sir?
Yar, I've been a fan of pro wrestling ever since I was a wee lad. One of the first ever matches I can watch, I can remember watching, is Edge versus John Cena.
Okay.
In that ladder match, where Edge got put through the 2 tables.
Unforgiven, 06, I believe.
As soon as I saw that, in love.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop. It was a bit of a long journey to get to professional wrestling as a business. Coincidentally, I found my way through just a random flyer and went to a tryout, and I never looked back.
Hell yeah. Just random coincidence. And Captain Decapitate, you're starting a little late in life. How'd you find pro wrestling?
Well, I've been a wrestling fan since I was like 8, 9 years old.
Oh, okay.
So I watched it back in the 60s.
Shoo.
Back then, it was just, a little 12-inch black and white TV, one camera. And I grew up kind of poor when I was younger. I'm not poor anymore. I got plenty of gold now, but I grew up poor. And so I'd have to walk like maybe it was probably only like a tenth of a mile, but it seemed like 2 miles to my grandfather's house every Saturday morning to watch professional wrestling with him.
Mm-hmm.
And now I find that it wasn't in the 60s, but it was later on. I've done quite a few shows at the Hamburg Fieldhouse. And I find out that's where the WWE taped a lot of their shows later on.
Okay.
And so, it's possible I watched some wrestling and that was taped at the Hamburg Fieldhouse, and now I get the opportunity to perform there.
How cool.
And it's a quick little story.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I got older and I got married, I moved across town. And my grandfather was old school. He wouldn't even go into about the only thing we had back then that was anything near a modern store was a Sears opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And he would get the brochures and see tools. And he'd go, next time you buy there, pick me up this tool. Because he wouldn't, I don't think he ever went into a store like Sears.
Oh, okay.
And so one Friday night, I picked up something for him. And my wife said, "You're gonna take it over to him." And I go, "No, I'm gonna go over tomorrow morning and watch wrestling." I didn't. Once I got married and moved a little bit away, I wasn't there every Saturday, but I'd be there as much as I could.
Okay.
And I said, "No, I'm gonna go watch wrestling with him tomorrow." Well, unfortunately, he passed away during the night.
Mm.
So went over to the house. Of course, everybody was, including myself, was in mourning. But you know what? When 11 o'clock came, I sat my ass down and watched that wrestling.
Did you?
Because that's what he,
Yep.
he'd have been like, don't waste your time on me. I don't, he was kind of a gruff guy. Don't waste your time on me. I'm already going.
Yeah.
Ain't shit you can do for me, but you can watch this. So, every time I go out, I'm like that 8, 9-year-old kid standing behind that curtain. And when my music hits, I go, "I hope you're watching."
Oh yeah. Heck
So
yeah.
it's been and then I did probably 6. I don't know. COVID screwed a lot of timelines up.
Sure.
But maybe 6 years ago, I'm an actor, and I did a movie called Wrestle Massacre.
Okay.
And all the kills in that movie were wrestling related. I didn't have really a lead role, but I had a fairly good sized role.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked with the guy that was the I guess like the promoter or the what do they call the guy under the promoter? That's
Booker.
The booker. Yeah, he was the booker for Outbreak Wrestling.
Okay.
And so I told him my story, and I said, "Man, I'd like to never been athletic enough, think about being a wrestler, but I'd love to try being a manager." And I showed him I have a good pirate, and he's called Captain Mango.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed him the good pirate, and he goes, "Yeah, but we need a heel." And so I said, "Let me work on it." So I came up with Captain D Capitate.
Mm-hmm.
And I started one promotion after that, had me as a face manager, and that only lasted 2 or 3 shows. And I said, "You got to turn me. This isn't working.
Okay.
This face don't look like a face."
Ain't a baby face, huh?
Yeah, no, this doesn't. And this is grown out here for the movie I just did. I played a serial killer named Trailhead Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
And I had 5 kills last weekend. I've got like 3 kills coming up this weekend. So
Ooh.
I had to look like a mountain man. So
Heck yeah, getting the body count. And we're big fans of Wrestle Massacre over here on WrestleRoni. We just had
All right.
Cuban Assassin on the show for episode 100. So
Yeah. He's a good guy. I just played. Oh, I don't know what I don't know exactly what I was. Well, I guess he was the good guy. He was kind of like the anti-hero.
right, yeah, you're a
And
good
I
guy.
was part of the mob, I think.
Okay,
And I'm the one that he killed, gouged my eyes out.
okay, yeah.
I was attempting to pleasure myself with a winch, and all of a sudden the lights went out. And next thing I knew, when the lights came on, he was standing in front of me, gouged my eyes out.
Well, at least he turned the lights out for a minute.
Yeah,
Gave you some of your dignity.
that was that wrestling gimmick, you know.
Right on. I love it. I love it.
Um, So Captain Blackheart, he sort of, sorry to
No, I was going to ask you how Captain
Brilliant.
Blackheart came about. So please.
Yeah, so Captain Blackheart, he saw a flyer. My story of coming into wrestling. So I was sitting down actually eating lunch at work one day, in our sort of shopping mall that we have. And as I'm eating, I hear a couple fellas behind me talking about like the new wrestling show that was on, and for some reason I was like, put yourself into that conversation. And so I was like, hey, are you guys talking about wrestling? And they're like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. We're actually also wrestlers.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Started talking about that a little bit more with them. And they were like, oh, yeah, actually, we need a cameraman for the next show that we're doing this Saturday at our local sports club. And I'm like, yeah, cool. I'll be there. I think I cameraed 3 of their shows, went to a tryout. I was then a ref for about, oh no, actually, I'd broken my leg, and that took about 2 months to heal. I've still got big scars on it and stuff.
It's not a bad turnaround time, though.
Not bad. I'm very resilient. I'm very stubborn. I don't like things putting me down. Started being a ref, trained as a referee for about 6 to 8 months. And then was finally able to debut. I'd gotten the pirate character gimmick. I was playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons with some friends, and my character just happened to be a pirate that day, and it sort of stuck with me. I've got the long hair. I've got the Jack Sparrow-esque beard, you know.
Right.
It all sort of just fit really well, and I could play into it. I've got the voice, yar.
Right.
So yeah, I can turn on like that, and it's all just clicked. The audience is sort of, I've got a very kid-friendly based audience, I would say.
Awesome.
Which I really like. But as you can see, the posters behind me, I get showered in love. I'm very blessed.
No doubt. No doubt. I've seen some of your work over there, and they go off. I mean, what do you think? Because let's call a spade a spade. You got pretty popular pretty fast. What do you think? What happened? Tell me what happened. I wasn't lucky enough to follow the journey.
So I sort of currently have a bit of a gimmick, a bit of a Cactus Jack gimmick where I play 2 different characters.
Okay.
So I still come out as my referee character occasionally. But all I do is I put a hair tie up, tie my hair up, and I'm the referee.
Sweet.
And the crowd, they notice, but they don't. They like, you know, they play it as if I'm 2 different characters, which really, really helps, I think. Like playing the kayfabe along with the crowd. But also I think it's the energy that I came out with straight away. Like they sort of knew my referee character because I was the head ref. I refed every match on every show pretty much. Okay. And yeah, as soon as I come out, I think they were sort of waiting for my time to come out as a wrestler because they like it sort of, if you followed our progression, it makes sense with how the referees follow on with their stories and stuff.
Okay.
Because a lot of our referees are training wrestlers as well too.
Right. Same here.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like I just right person, right time, right gimmick. It all sort of just fit. I can't really explain it, to be honest.
But it worked, by God.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Back to you, Captain Decapitate. So you're in the business now. Tell me about that first night behind the curtain. What's some things you saw that shocked you? Just what was that first night like for you?
Oh man. Well, when I talked to the promotion,
Mm-hmm.
I said I just want to do this one time, just to get that feeling of what it was like going through the curtain. And it was even though it was at the Hamburg Fieldhouse, it was still well, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't at the first show I did with them was at a fire station.
Okay.
So they just had the typical screen set up, curtain set up where you walk through it.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that feeling of standing behind there, they had to keep holding me back, going, no, you got to let the music play a little bit.
Right.
You got to let the music. And I was ready to go. And the guy I managed, I had just met that night,
Mm-hmm.
and I just went out there, and being a heel, you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Right.
You can cover up a lot of imperfections
Okay.
just by being an asshole.
Okay.
And went out there and did if I don't know if I've ever seen the tape of that first show, but I'm sure it wasn't I wasn't that good. But oh my God, the thrill of doing it. Like I said, I was that 8-year-old kid standing there,
Mm-hmm.
waiting to go out, and I don't. I'm 72. I'll be 73 in January. So I started out in this really, really late.
Right.
And I'm not one that deals in regrets a lot. I figure things happen when they did, and decisions you made the decisions with the information you had 20 years ago.
Right.
You can't look back and say, oh man, I should have done that. You didn't have the knowledge of the information you do now.
Yep.
But one regret is I wish I'd have got into professional wrestling earlier, because I'm still in pretty good shape. I'll take bumps. I don't take major bumps, but I'll take gores and kicks to the head, and and punches, and most of the time it's me asking for it.
Right.
I'm like, I want to do this, because if I don't do this shit at 72, I ain't gonna be able to do this shit in 8 years. I know.
Right.
And so I went to feeling. I even in practice one time, I even took on lingo. I'm a little off, whatever, where they jump off the top rope and splash you.
Okay.
I even took one of them in practice, and I just haven't met up with had a match with that guy. But when we do it, he's going to do that, because I just wanted to know what that felt like and looked like to see. And he was probably 380,
Shoo.
380
Okay.
maybe. To see somebody that size coming down on top of you, I just want to know what that looks like and feels like.
That's love of the game right there. I don't think I want 350 pounds. I don't want a 150-pound guy jumping on me. God.
Well, I would imagine somewhere down the road. I hope not. Beastman and I are going to part ways for
Right.
one reason or another, and I've already told him I want to take one of his. What's he run into the corner
The
and
cannonball
flips
in the
upside
corner?
down, and the cannonball in the corner? Yeah, I want
Oh,
that to be his kind of FU move to me.
God bless you, because my
But
usual co-host Marcus
I want
Twist.
to see what that looks like, having a 500-pound guy coming full force at you and hitting you.
I've heard what it feels like. I've heard the complaints. I heard it sucks. So God be with you.
I was actually a couple 6 months ago, I was supposed to take a gore from Rhino,
Mm-hmm.
and ended up at that match got I forget, venue problems or something. It didn't happen, but Rhino and I talked about it, and he said, if you want it, I'll do it. And I'm like, I want to see what that feels like.
Wow.
Cool. That's so cool.
Because like I said, if I don't do it now, I'm in pretty good shape, but the body has seen 72 winters,
Mhm.
and if I don't do it now, I'm not going to be able to do it 10 years from now. So, bring it on.
God bless the enthusiasm.
But I only do stuff like that with people I trust.
Right on.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Safety is one of my
I've had
biggest things.
suggestions come up from some people. Hey, I want to do this, and I'm like, no.
Right. What about you, Captain Blackheart? Talking about people we trust, who's been some of the folks kind of looked out for you in your first few years and looked out for Captain Blackheart?
There's been a fair few. Being a younger fella myself, I'm 23.
Okay.
I've got a fair few years to go. I think I'm very young. I'm very eager to learn, which a lot of people they appreciate that. I love the business. I love everything about it. I'm so obsessed with it. A lot of people that have been like a major support system is obviously war as a whole. Everyone in war, just they're family. You can go up to every single one of them, and it's like you've known them your whole life, pretty much.
Good.
Like that's how we believe a company should be as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone just gelling together, doing what they need to, putting on a good product. It's difficult to pinpoint some names, but I would say number one probably has to be Colt Winchester for me.
Okay.
That man is just he's so kind, he's so giving, it's hard to put into words how much he's done for me, just as a person even too. Sorry, what was the question again?
Folks that's looked out for you, but you mentioned Colt Winchester, and he must be a good dude for Phil Picasso to put somebody over on the podcast. He puts Colt over quite a bit, so he must be a good dude.
Yeah, he just an amazing guy. Tyson DeHaunt as well too. Definitely my tag team partner. He's stuck by my side pretty much through thick and thin through it all. It's it's hard to put into words. They mean so much to me,
questions. I'm sorry.
No. They just mean a lot to me.
Nah, I get it. I love it. I forget where my train of thought was going. I was going somewhere with that. Folks just looked out for you. I don't know.
I just want to add something here. I was growing up. I was never athletic, so I wasn't ever part of a lot of locker rooms and that camaraderie.
Right.
I find it amazing how tight the locker rooms are. There you run into a couple. I mean, because you think about it, that locker room is probably filled up with a hell of a lot of testosterone and egos.
Sure.
Because I don't think any of us would be in this business if we didn't have a tremendous ego.
Right on.
To go out there and perform in front of people. But man, and there are some exceptions, but man, for the most part, that locker room, everyone I've ever been in, is so tight.
Yep.
And everybody, and I think what it is in this business is, what I tell people, because, the word fake and all that always comes up every time you talk about wrestling. Mm-hmm. And, I tell them we don't like that word. It's predetermined. It's a show. But, I tell them, what? When you watch WWE and you see that guy do that fancy flip off that top rope, that guy catching him is just as important as that guy coming off the rope.
Yep.
Because if he doesn't know what he's doing, he's got a broken neck.
Yep.
And so I think for that reason, everybody is so tight, you know.
Yep.
And I've
When
seen
you're risking each
mess
other's
ups, but
lives.
it's live
Mhm.
it's live performance art, you know.
Yep. And that was actually
Absolutely.
my train of thought. That's where I was going. It seems because I've had a lot of Australian interviews, and I had one with Trent O'Day where we went into blading, and boy, it
Yeah.
caused the biggest stink because it seems like in Australia, tell me if I'm wrong, the business is a
Stop.
lot more protected than it is over here. Over here, you can turn on TV and see behind the scenes segments. Uh, is it a little bit more close guarded over there?
Um, I would say yes to an extent. I would attribute the close guardedness
Hmm.
to it being not as popular.
Okay.
Like you still, we've got your WWEs, your AEWs, your Ring of Honor, your big New Japans, your big promotions that like your wrestling fans will watch.
Right.
But like, not a lot of people in Australia will turn on the wrestling. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's a very sort of niche thing for us at the moment that we're trying to make popular and break out. I feel like it was it's hard to explain, but it's just not where America is at the moment. You know, like you've got like I said, you've got war in Rockhampton. You travel 800-900 kilometers north, and then you've got QWA in Townsville.
Right.
And there's not really much in between that at all.
Yeah, that's what was shocking to me when Trent was telling me how you have to make flights to make shows. That's crazy.
Yeah. Like I traveled to QWA, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The way we do that, we carpool. So like we get like 3 or 4 guys in a car, share the fuel, share accommodation, do all of that. So like just make it as cheap as possible what we can. It makes it somewhat doable.
Somewhat.
Yeah, you said what, 800 kilometers?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's I don't know the
I'll translate.
conversion, but that's 700 miles maybe.
I'll do the
I
translation.
know we're looking at roughly
About
60.
528 miles.
Damn.
Yeah, between towns. Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
and so you've got, so if you travel 800 kilometers or 500 miles north, you've got a wrestling promotion. And then where we are in Rocky, if you travel another 500 kilometers south, then you've got a bunch more down in Brisbane. Like it's very, very spread out. So
Now in Australia, when you travel that 500 miles, is there stuff in between?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
developed in between, or you
Like maybe every
or
100.
you have to go through the outback to get there?
No, no. I would say about every 60 to 100 miles, there's about a town or a stop or a service station to get petrol. Like
Wow.
there's little things in between, like you'll get a city or two, but it's very rural. There's not a lot out there.
That's wild. Like, bless you
Man,
guys. I'm sure it's hard enough to get on one of the shows. Then you got to make the trip. Like, it's a whole nother deal over there for you guys.
Yeah, to bring it back to the guardedness about Australia, I think it's because it's so spread out, and we have indie promotions pretty much like in Rocky and Townsville and Brisbane. There's no like what would you call like a TNA or even a smaller but higher value production
Right on.
in
Okay.
Australia. Like there's Melbourne, which is way further down,
Mm-hmm.
but just there's not a lot out there, which means there's not a lot to talk about, I would say.
I got you. Okay. That makes sense. What about you, Decapitate? When you first got in the business, was there some guys wanting to keep your head out of the sauce? Or was there some guys showing you how the sauce was made? How'd it work for you?
I guess I was pretty lucky. I had a couple people take me under their wings. I still get for example, last Sunday when I had been at VCW before, I worked color commentary there,
Okay.
but I never dressed up.
Mhm.
So I was familiar with the promotion, but I have to be honest, when I showed up and got dressed up, the locker room wasn't the most receptive
Oh
I've
yeah.
ever been at,
Okay.
but it's they came around,
Right.
especially after the spot that Polly and I did.
Yeah.
That was actually because I like to try to keep the persona as the the badass pirate. Don't take any shit.
Okay. You're right.
I didn't know Wes had decided that I was going to do a comedy skit,
Okay. Right.
but it worked. It worked, and I think eventually the comedy is gonna the true Captain D Capitate is going to show himself at VCW.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got to
sure.
But
be honest.
it was a good spot. But after I did that spot, I mean, when I went back through the curtain,
Mhm.
Wes was like, "Oh my God, you guys just saved this show." He goes,
Mhm.
"Get back out there." So we went out and did the run around the ring.
I knew that happened. I knew it. When you guys came back out, I said, Wes wanted them to take another lap because they was getting such a reaction.
Well, if I'd have thought about it,
Mhm.
because things happen so quick, and working on movies, I'm I'm always like, can we make this kill a little bit gorier if I do this?
Mhm.
And it ran through my mind, and I didn't say anything, but I thought it would have been funny if we'd have made a long run around the hallway
Okay.
and come running in the entrance,
Okay. There you go.
or went through the kitchen and came out. But we were right there. It was in the moment. I'm like, that was actually the first show that I've ever done that there was a ramp to come down also,
Right. Yeah, they have a
and
nice setup.
that's pretty slick. I mean, I didn't know. Um, I never had a wrestling bucket list because I never knew I'd be here.
Right.
But one of them was to do a show in my hometown. And about a month ago, I got to do a show it was an outdoor show in a park, probably a half a block from our square
Okay.
downtown. And we're Hagerstown's a fairly good sized town. It's like maybe number 5 in Maryland, something like that.
Right on.
And so that was a thrill to work in my own hometown.
Mhm.
And the other thing on my bucket list is I just want to do one. I would prefer it to be AEW, because I'm not real wild about WWE. But if the opportunity would come, you're not going to say no.
Right.
But I would rather it be AEW. But I just one time. That's all I ask. That's how I got into this shit. Come out on a ramp with the fire and smoke and all that, and walk down that ramp to a good sized crowd. I mean, probably the biggest crowd I've ever worked in front of was 800 people,
That's good.
900 people, something like that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's respectable.
Well, I tell you, a lot of people. This is diverting from Captain D Capitate. I was a pirate. I still am. Named Captain Mango. Captain Mango de Koso. That's Captain Mango of Key West.
Mhm.
And I used to do bike shows, and I got a $90,000 custom built chopper, and I had girls work with me as my wenches and mermaids and all that. I started this whole pirate thing probably 20 years ago just as a Jimmy Buffett fan.
Oh.
I got tired of going to Jimmy Buffett concerts, setting up tiki bars and doing all that crap, and decided I wanted to put together an authentic pirate costume. And I probably all total have $5,000 in my outfit.
Shoo.
But the best. Oh man, I don't know if it's. Yeah, it was more of a thrill than coming out to professional wrestling. I went to a Jimmy Buffett concert at the local big venue in D.C.
Mhm.
And there were a lot of. This was 6 years ago, and there were a lot of people there that were also Kenny Chesney fans. And they said, "Are you coming back to see Kenny?" And I go, "Yeah, but back then, when I went to see Kenny, the tailgate, because the Buffett tailgating is epic. I mean, I just show up. I don't take a cooler. I don't take anything, and just start walking around, and I don't have to take anything. People want pictures, and so I go back to the Kenny Chesney concert, and back then it was still a lot of cowboy boots and booty shorts and cowboy hats.
Okay.
But I had a ticket in like the 5th row, and I knew as soon as they dropped the curtain that Kenny saw me, because he walks over his guitar player and points out to me, and I'm like, that was worth the price of admission right there,
Right.
And about halfway through the concert, a security guy that I knew from going to this venue, he comes down, taps me on the shoulder, and he goes, "Can you come with me?" And I said, "What did I do?" And he goes, "Just come with me." And we're walking up through the venue, and he goes, "You're not going to believe this," he said, "but I'm working backstage." He said, "Kenny wants you on stage."
Oh.
So we went back through the tractor trailers, came up, and this venue probably holds, man, I'm a poor judge of crowds, but 28,000 maybe.
Okay.
And they go up and they go, just tell me, they go, "Okay, Kenny wants you on stage." And I swear, you walk out there and all you see are people and people and people and people and people and people. And, it's just, and I didn't know what to do. I just, as I'm walking out to him and the crowd's cheering, I'm just going, and I was out there, and he just talked to me for a few minutes. I had a cousin in the audience, and I asked her afterwards, "Did I do okay?" And she goes, "Yeah, you did fine." She goes, "But he was talking to her, and all of a sudden you turned around and walked away."
Oh,
and the only thing I can remember in my mind is, don't overstay your welcome.
Okay.
Don't grab him by the leg and go, "Okay, I'm out here. I'm not leaving now." But that was the first time, and I got invited to the after concert party and got to meet him and his manager. And I've actually been out on stage with him one other time, but two other times he has got me up and let me watch the concert from the side of the stage. And I've done promos for his Sirius radio station, and I've been interviewed by his No Shoes Radio.
Okay.
So and I wouldn't say we become friends, but we're acquaintances.
Now we'll take it.
So I think that still dwarfs anything I've experienced in wrestling.
Well,
that's kind of like,
oh yeah, that's big time.
because I put the whole outfit together initially to meet Jimmy Buffett.
Uh-huh.
And over the years, I've met, in fact, I'm personal friends with several of the Coral Reefer band.
Mm-hmm.
I've just never met Jimmy. I've missed him by like 5 minutes and I still would like to meet him one time and just shake his hand, because it's, he is, he didn't necessarily get me into the pirate lifestyle, but he got me into the Key West lifestyle.
Okay.
I even went to Key West back 10, 12 years ago when I got divorced, and worked as a street performer down there. And Captain Mango is a little bit friendlier looking pirate. And so I just worked the corner down at Sloppy Joe's, and people walk by and go, "Hey, can I get your picture?" And I go, I work for tips." Mm-hmm. And I'd make $1, $20, whatever, and I could probably make $50 an hour, $35 an hour.
Sweet.
But that's still not enough to live in Key West.
Right? Yeah, not enough.
It's like, but I'm one of those guys, that was a dream of mine. In fact, when my wife and I got divorced, she didn't want me to tell anybody that I wanted to be a street performer in Key West. And I told her, I said, hey, look, I'm not Johnny Depp, but I think I can entertain people one-on-one.
Oh.
And then I got, let me think where I'm at here in my story. An actress from DC I've had the pleasure to be photographed by a lot of fantastic photographers, because of the garb. And an actress from DC saw some of the pictures, and this was 7 years ago. I don't, like I said, COVID has screwed up timelines.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
And she contacted a mutual photographer and said, "Hey, I want to shoot with this guy." She was big into steampunk at the time. And we hit it off, and she goes, "You need to be in the movies." And I said, "Hook me up." So she got me a one-day walk-on for a low-budget indie movie called MILFs versus Zombies.
Okay.
And I ended up, first day I played a zombie pirate, and then I worked as 9 other zombies on that movie. And that was like 80, 90 movies ago.
Damn.
And, it just kind of, I guess I had that entertainment bug in me, and, had to get it out some way.
Right.
The acting, I wish that would have happened a little bit earlier too, but, because I get a lot of roles. I don't do anything half-assed. If I can't do anything the best I can do, I don't freaking do it.
Right. Hell yeah.
And the acting, being the pirate, being the wrestling manager, if I didn't think I was doing a good job doing this, I wouldn't do it. I don't want to be, the middle Carter in wrestling.
Right. Be the main.
I want to be, and luckily working with Beastman for over a year, I've usually worked main events.
Yeah.
That's
quite the rub.
It was, such a strange journey. None of it ever had to happen. I'm just grateful that it did, because it's, I just freaking love professional wrestling. I love the show, and being involved in it, and being in the planning stages, backstage, and just being at ringside, watching you all. There's sometimes I don't have to fake my reaction, because I'm like, how the fuck did that guy how did he just not die?
when I'm in the ref character, I still react how I would react in the crowd. Like, you watch my reactions as, oh my god, oh, we took a big chop. Like it adds to the value of it too, to an extent.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I view it that I'm just out there.
But also, I'm a mark too.
I'm just a big fan that don't have to pay to get in.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I get that too. Yep.
And I have access to an area that no fan can pay to get into.
Yep.
And but yeah, it's oh man, there's times out there, when it's going to be a 10, 12-minute match, and it's like you see the finish coming up, and I'm like, I just walked down here.
Yeah. We're just getting started.
I want more time.
Yeah, it's just having fun. I totally understand.
Well, what I found as a manager too, and it took them a while, but I came into this business from the acting side. I came into it with nothing on the physical side. And so for me, cutting promotions, doing things like this just comes natural. A lot of good athletes out there can't cut good promos.
Right.
Me, when I go into I'm lucky that I have a friend of mine that has a full studio. I go in and he goes, how many promos we cutting today? And I go 3, and he'll go, okay. And I'll run through them and go, okay, VCW, August 24th, Mecklenburg, who my opponent is. And I'll go, okay, I'm ready to go. And I go, you sure? And I'll go, yeah. And I'll just one take. Boom, 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 boom. And just freaking love this business. Love this.
Hell yeah.
I've made a lot of great friends over the. I got to say,
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know, 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, super grateful. Super grateful. What about you, Captain Blackheart? He was just talking about an important moment in his career. Important, one of the important. Tell me about an important moment in your career so far. The most important. Something that meant a lot to you.
Um, I could probably. I've got four in mind, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, man.
So one is a comedy spot that really, really took my fancy. The other three, we had a show in April where we had a sort of a King of the Ring tournament where I was the winner of that one. So I was actually King Captain Blackheart for a little bit,
Hell yeah, congrats.
which I thank you, which meant a lot to me. Obviously, both championship wins are just I keep a WWE the original John Cena Spinner title
Okay.
replica since I was 8. I've had it. It's still in really good condition. I keep that in my car as good luck.
Hell yeah.
And so finally winning a couple of titles, it meant really a lot to me. My favorite comedy spot. So my first ever match, like I debuted in a Rumble, which I don't know, it counts, but it doesn't.
Right.
My first ever match that I had, the person that I was going up against had a bit of a karaoke gimmick.
Okay.
And so he sung a song, and the crowd was like, eh, because he was a bit of a heel.
Okay.
Then I grabbed the mic, and I actually sang the SpongeBob theme song. The Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain.
Mm-hmm.
And we might have had maybe 200 people in the building at the point, but just that was all you could hear, and they were just singing the SpongeBob theme, and it was glorious.
Hell yeah. 200 people. See, that's what it's all about, man. It sounds like it means a lot to you to put smiles on faces, make people laugh. That's what it's about.
Yeah, I love the entertainment, the making people feel something,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely get it. Well, hell, fellers, we're rolling in on an hour here. I'll ask you both. I'll start with Captain Decapitate. We'll go to Captain Blackheart. What are we looking at in the future? What does the future hold? What's some goals? What's some upcoming shows? If you want to slang your socials, your merch, whatever you want to put out there. And we'll start with Captain Decapitate. Decapitate.
Well, I appreciate you got the name right another time.
Yeah, twice.
And in this show, I told you the path I took to get here.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea where this journey's going to end. I just know I'm going to hang on to this as long as I can. Like I said, this Saturday night, Beastman is going up for the WDWA title. Next Thursday night, I think it's the 17th. Oh man, too many initials in this business.
Yeah, right. Alphabet soup, baby.
Oh man, he's gonna shoot me.
Yeah, now you got
Voltage Wrestling.
Okay.
We're having our first. We do a monthly event in a brewery.
Okay.
We're having our first televised event that's going to go on the local public television.
Oh yeah,
here.
I saw that.
Yeah, so that's gonna be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Beastman dropped the title at the last Voltage show, which I wasn't happy about. But we held it over a year. Got to keep the story fresh.
Right on.
And so, and also what I was telling you about in the hometown coming up October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, something like that. We're having another show in downtown Hagerstown.
Okay.
And like I told you, that was my bucket list thing, man. I would like to. I don't know if it's possible because of the school board, local school board. But damn, I would love to go back and have a wrestling show in my old high school gym.
Oh, there you go.
You know, even though I wasn't a real athlete in high school, just to go back to that gym and do a show and be part of the, part of the main event. It would be my fun. And I only grew up in a little town. I mean, we only had 60 some people in my graduating class, I think.
Wow. So
it was a small town. And this would be great to go back as the ultimate heel and just kind of go, fuck you, Smithburg. Fuck you.
Just shit all over him.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But, God, that'd be the crowning glory. And then I would like to, like I said before, I would like to just one time do like an AEW show where you come out and all the fire and the smoke and everything. And, and I keep making connections to more top level wrestlers that hopefully maybe 3-4 years down the road, I get to stick around that long. I might be able to call in some favors and get that one show. I mean, I had a lot of hope when they had their YouTube show and their cable show, and
right, yeah,
maybe I can get a shot in there. But I did want to ask you. It's been bugging me all along. You're from Australia, right?
Yes.
You have in Cassie Lee from Australia?
Who, sorry?
AEW? Cassie Lee, she was part of the Iconics in WWE.
Oh, right.
She went by a different name then. I don't know if Cassie Lee, you never know if, Captain D Capitate isn't my real name. But I think she's from Australia.
Yeah.
There's a fair few, I think. Tony Storm also is from...
Well, I tell you what. If you can't hook me up with Cassie Lee, if you can get me an inroad into Tony Storm, I would really appreciate that.
Oh, man.
I don't know any of them, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, man. I think I'd be a great manager for Tony Storm. Bring her out in some little pirate garb stuff and
oh my.
Or bring the little
bring me along.
Bring the Japanese girl back that was forget what her name anymore.
Was that the one in NXT?
Yeah.
She had that really good elbow drop.
Yeah.
Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane, that's the one.
Yeah.
Either that, or I would love to manage somebody like Su Yung, or that's really that's what they try to hook me up with, is because I'm 6'2", something like that, and I want to put this on. I'm a pretty good sized guy, so they try to either hook me up with big guys so that I don't make guys look small, or the really quirky guys. And so, somebody like Su Yung, and I've met her, I'm friends with her. God, I would love to. Well, first off, I'm pushing for a female wrestler, because I figure nothing will piss the crowd off and get more heat than me beating on the opponent female.
Right.
Choking them or cheating them. That nothing will get me more heat than that. So so those are the things I'm looking for in the future. But I tell you what, if nothing else ever happens, God damn, it's been a ride.
Hell yeah.
It's been a ride.
I say that all the time. Even if nobody watches podcast, I had fun. I say.
Oh yeah. Well, I did. I always wanted to be from the time I was a little kid. I wanted to be a disc jockey, because, when a little kid, I was just amazed how that voice came out of that little box.
Right.
And that personality sitting there talking to you. And so I always wanted to be a DJ, and I didn't grew up thinking I didn't have the voice and all that. Well, I got a chance to. It was short-lived. It was only about 10 episodes, but I got to do a podcast. It was called the Trop Rock Bay, and I was just my real name. No, I was Captain Mango, so I was the good guy. I was a good pirate, and it was Captain Mango's Trop Rock Bay. And so, I got to do like 10 half-hour shows and just play trop rock music.
Nice.
And I wish that would have lasted longer, but you know what? I did it.
You did it.
It's
Can't take that away from you.
like, I think Kenny Chesney has a song. I don't have a bucket list anymore. I changed the B to an F.
Oh, okay. Damn, Kenny Chesney, how you living nowadays? Man, getting a little vulgar, ain't he?
Well, not if you just say, "Hey, I got a bucket list, but I changed the B to an F," and you don't actually say the word.
I guess it.
Then, if he said the word, I've met Kenny personally, a couple times, and I tell you what, it's the same way too that I was telling you about wrestling locker rooms. I'd say 99% of celebrities I've had the pleasure to meet are just super nice people.
Yeah.
You get your assholes in what we got to deal with assholes in everyday business.
Right. Everyday life.
But for the most part, celebrities, I've gone to a lot of Comic Cons, and and I've met big names, and they're just they're the greatest people. They just do a little bit different than what we do. We're all in the entertainment business, and they just do what we do and make a little bit more money.
Right on.
I think
I don't know about wrestlers in Australia. I hear you all bank the money there, man.
We try.
Well, you better be if you drive 500 miles to do a show.
Huh?
Merch keeps us going.
I was going to living on a wing and a prayer. What about you, Captain Blackheart? What can we look
Yeah,
forward to? What's some goals? What's going on in your world coming up?
Obviously we've got our show this Saturday, the Millennium Rumble. That's going to be a big show for us. Next month we've got our WrestleMania show, Stampede we call it, which is going to be also really huge. For me, I'm just going to keep trucking along, keep holding on to these championship titles, keep Captain Blackheart doing his thing. I had a couple of goals for this year that I'd written down. I've crossed a fair few of them off already.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah, so first goal, I wanted to wrestle on 20 shows this year,
Okay.
which I think I'm on my way to hitting.
Okay.
Just for how tough it is, with how many shows there are going on. I wanted to learn how to do a moonsault consistently, which I've learned how to do now, which is really cool. It's all about setting goals,
Yes.
I want to hit about 75 kilos by the end of the year, which I'm at about 70.
Okay.
Which I'm getting close to. Got to start eating a bit more. And we're getting custom tag gear for our tag team, which is really, really cool.
Nice.
So hopefully a good couple of months coming up. Just cruising along, just keeping it steady, keeping it alive, having fun, enjoying ourselves, living in the moment, really. Not going too fast.
Okay. Makes sense. Take it all in, huh?
That's it. Like, one of my favorite quotes at the moment is, a moment can last a lifetime, but it takes a lifetime to get to that one moment.
Yeah.
And people don't see the lifetime, they see the moment, and they go, oh, he's up there, but they didn't see the work it took to get there,
I like it.
Yeah. What I tell people is, because I'm pretty old, is, man, don't ever give up on your dreams at whatever age you are, because starting at like 65, 66, well, maybe about 60 when I got into the movie business, for the last 12 years, I have been living, I've had the opportunity to do stuff that I never dreamed of.
Hell yeah.
I never dreamed in my life that I'd be in 80 movies. Now they're not, some of them have been, kind of Hollywood level productions, but, not Most of them are independent,
Sure.
and to be an established name in indie wrestling.
Yeah.
I never thought that could happen, and this has all happened after 60 years old. So, man, don't ever give up on any dreams, because I can tell you the dreams you're having today, 20 years from now, they're going to be in hindsight.
Yeah.
They're going to be in hindsight and go, that's all the higher I made my dreams.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
And I tell people I've reinvented myself, business owner, and things so many freaking times, and just chatting with you today. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Captain. Even though there's
Thank
only
you.
really one captain on this show, and you know that,
Captain Spooky Lou, that's right.
but you're far enough away. It's kind of like the 500-mile rule, if you're married and you're 500 miles away from your spouse, whatever happens,
Oh yeah.
doesn't happen. You're far enough away. I will grant you captainship.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that.
You're a true captain in my eye. I don't understand why you're such a good guy. Come over to the dark side. It's a whole lot more fun, buddy. It's a whole lot more fun. And you will.
I haven't experienced the heartaches yet.
Yeah, he's got to have that.
Yeah, you got to. And when you do, you'll understand why I stay here.
It's been a pleasure meeting you too, though, Captain D Capitate. It's a pleasure.
And if I ever get up, I don't know, I ever get enough money to come to Australia. That's well, I don't know. I could take unless they come up with a supersonic jet. I don't know. I could take that flight, but
You might be getting that AEW money. You never know.
well, if I get the AEW money, then we'll come over and we'll do an AEW show. And what's Sydney? Is that your biggest? Biggest city?
I would say, maybe Melbourne.
Oh, Melbourne. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know if we want to run to Sydney, we're going to have to go through Phil Picasso and his people. So
Yep.
I don't know. We better just go to Melbourne.
Who is this Phil guy?
Oh man,
I've never heard of this Phil guy.
We're going to have to.
Oh.
We'll get you caught up on that. Maybe we'll get you two together sometime. We'll really have a show.
Tell Phil I'll come work for him.
Phil is an amazing guy.
If he's got somebody I can manage.
Yeah, you can manage him. He's the Birdman. You're a pirate. Shoot. It's kind of
Does
like
he go out like Coco Beware?
He sure does.
Does he? That's cool.
Wishes he was like the Birdman. He comes out in a chicken mask doing the chicken dance to the chicken dance song. At 60 years old.
Love it. Is this the guy you said is old?
Yes. Yep. Over
Yeah,
60.
he's the 60-year-old. He's 60 years old. Still goes. He's so lovely, but hard hitting. Does what he needs to. But just amazing fella.
And I know.
I tell people I don't. Like I said, I'm 72. I don't feel like it. I don't think I act like it, but I act and feel 10 years older than what I did the day before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Because that year and a half or 2 years off at my age, that was tough.
Yeah.
And I still don't have I just know myself, I still don't have the energy level I had pre-COVID.
I've heard that actually.
But I look at other 72-year-old guys, and I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah. You can hear me. My dad's your age. He can't hear
What?
one word I say. Yeah, right.
What?
That's better than
Hey.
I can't do It's been a pleasure, man. It's been another magic show. It's why we do this. I think we all had fun. I'd like to say so.
Oh, we'll have to do this again for sure.
For sure. You know
Yeah.
what? I definitely owe
There's
you
so much to
both.
talk about.
Yeah. Well, we'll get you both together, and I owe you both solo interviews so we can hear more about your personal
Yeah, it was
life.
like only a 1 hour show.
Yeah, we've run over 15 minutes, but, it's the pirate edition.
Hey, are the people still out now? Is this going out live or
Tomorrow, well, day after tomorrow. It's live now
Okay.
while they're watching it. We're live, wink, wink, nudge, nudge,
okay? Because I wasn't sure giving out dates and all that. You never know.
Exactly.
But if you're on the
Yep.
East Coast of the United States and you see Captain D Capitate on the wrestling show coming up, you better get your ass there because it's going to be a hell of a show.
Damn right.
And if you're in Australia, get my buddy Braveheart, Captain Braveheart.
Blackheart even.
Blackheart.
Captain Blackheart. If you're on any Australian show and you see Captain Blackheart, you know it's going to be a entertaining show.
He's an okay guy.
See.
He's got my seal of approval.
Damn. Got that. See, we're touching lives.
Much appreciated, y'all.
Mending fences.
Hey, don't get too sympathetic on my ass, or I'll take it all back.
Okay.
This is why we do it. I'll ask you both to hang on the line for me. But to the listeners, we love you. Go out there and live your dreams. It's never too late. You heard it from Captain Decapitate. Look at these two ends of the spectrum. We got a young whippersnapper already winning tag gold. We got a older gentleman living his dreams. I love this damn show. Quality, great.
Can you imagine what he's going to be in 50 years?
Look, he's already won 2 tag titles.
I know.
What the hell's going on around here? Live your dreams. D Capitate said it's possible anytime you want to. Tune in next
and
time.
Thank you for not calling me by that other name.
Decapitate. Decapitate. Damn it. Hell yeah. WrestleRoni. Tune in to the next one. It's not going to be as crazy as this, but it'll be crazy. We love you.